Hello, and welcome to the fifth ever episode of the BHA Today Podcast. You may have noticed we haven't recorded one of these in quite a while, but today the wait has been completely worth it as we've got a really special topic to talk about. Today I'll be talking about the World Cup and a big question that has dominated the minds of many football fans around the world. Who is going to be the standout breakthrough player at the World Cup? I mean, a few years ago in the 2014 World Cup, the player who stood out for me was James Rodriguez. Before that World Cup competition, he wasn't really a player who was recognised as world class. I mean, he made a big money move to Monaco, was doing quite well there, but no one really knew of him as such. But in that World Cup, he made 5 appearances, scored at least 1 goal in each of those appearances, scoring 6 overall, winning the Golden Boot, and 1 goal in particular against Uruguay. Chested it down and volleyed it right into the top corner. It was an absolutely fantastic goal, and the whole world was amazed by it. I can remember sitting there watching it on TV myself, going absolutely crazy at what this man had just done, and I feel as if there's going to be a similar sort of breakthrough at this World Cup in Russia. But who is that person going to be? Who is going to be the person to make their breakthrough? For me, there'll probably be quite a few players which could fit this role. The first contender for me is probably Gelson Martins. The Portuguese international is just 22 years old. He's been a hot prospect for Sporting Lisbon for a number of years now, and he's even been looked at by some of the best clubs in Europe, like the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, Man United, all the likes. He's a fantastic finisher, creator. In 43 appearances this season, he's got 12 goals and got 11 assists, which is very good for a winger like he is. And could you even compare him to Cristiano Ronaldo? I mean, it's a massive comparison to do, but as Ronaldo's a little bit younger, Ronaldo's obviously different class, but Ronaldo made his breakthrough on a big stage against Manchester United when he had a good friendly against the Red Devils, and he ended up moving to Manchester United. It's another big stage for Gelson Martins, FIFA World Cup in Russia. I expect him to perform really well. I think he's going to be quite a key player for Portugal, possibly prolonging their time in the competition, and as a result, he could as well make his breakthrough on a big stage. Whether he'll be the main player to break through this summer, I'm not too sure. Another player who I could see starring in the World Cup is Mexican international Irving Lozano. He's another 22-year-old, and just like James Rodriguez, he's a very technical player. He's really impressed with PSV this season, and I mean really impressed. He's scored 16 goals and assisted 10 in just 29 appearances. That's almost a goal or an assist every single game in all competitions, and this ability has fired PSV Eindhoven towards a probable Eredivisie title. He's been so impressive in his abundance of pace and finishing, making a very tricky player for defenders to come up against. And when you couple this again with his rapid adaptation to Europe competition, he's likely to be a major star at the World Cup. Once again though, whether he'll be the main star is another matter. I don't think as if he'll be the main player, but I do think he'll make a little bit of a breakthrough at the tournament. Another player now, and to make a change, he's not an attacker, he's a midfielder. He's Polish, he's 23, and his name is Piotr Zielinski. He's a regular for Napoli in the central midfielder, so he's able to deal with major pressure on the big stage. And he's got a major technical ability, amazing trickery, dribbling ability, which sucks defenders towards him, creating a lot of space up front and in the advanced midfield positions. You can also expect to play passes you wouldn't expect many other players to do. Maybe like De Bruyne, creating sort of chances like that, laser eye ability through the middle of the pitch. But Zielinski's a player who will play some incredible passes. He's a major creator, and he will likely be the major playmaker in Polish side in the summer. And like a striker like Lewandowski up front, many of his passes will reach a player who's a natural finisher, who will score lots of goals. So Zielinski is likely to shine in the World Cup and possibly be one of the main stars. Whether he will be the main player to make a breakthrough, however, is another question. The final player who I want to mention, who I don't think will be the main breakthrough player at the World Cup, but will star nonetheless, is Brighton's José Izquierdo. He's 25 years old now, so you might be thinking, oh, he's not really a prospect who's going to shine through, but he's never really had the opportunity to show the world what he can do. I mean, he played for Club Brugge a couple of seasons ago, and last season he was actually the Pro League's top scorer in that season, but no one really noticed. Apart from a couple of team of the season picks over social media, he wasn't really recognised as a great player. He made his move to Brighton for a then Brighton record fee of £13.5 million, and since he's impressed in the Premier League. I mean, at the start of the season he wasn't the best, but when he got to October, he played against West Ham United at the London Stadium. He cut in from the left-hand side when Brighton won the league, and put onto his right foot, and he whipped it into the top right corner. Joe Hart got a touch, but it wasn't enough. José Izquierdo's finish was just too good for him to reach. He scored again against West Ham, actually, a few months ago, at home this time, at the Amex Stadium. Similar goal, cut in from the left-hand side, but this time, oh, what a goal. He literally whipped it right into the top right corner. It dipped over Joe Hart and right into the corner. And it was just amazing to see. Another great goal he scored against Stoke City. It was a team goal this time. He did a few 1-2s up the pitch, continued his run, and finished off perfectly in the bottom right-hand corner. And he scores these sort of goals out of nowhere. He's the sort of player who can definitely influence the game, and I feel like he'll do that for Colombia in the summer. He's creative, he's skillful, he's pacey, and I just feel like he will be a star at the World Cup no matter what happens. Even if Colombia only make it through the group stage, maybe to the knockout round, even if they only reach that point, I think with the likes of Falcao up front for Colombia, I think he'll be a great creative player for Colombia and will probably start in the World Cup. Though he probably won't be the main breakthrough player, maybe due to his age and due to the fact he's already been in the Premier League before. But he definitely will play quite well, in my opinion. Right, so now the name you've all been waiting for. Who is going to be the main breakthrough player at the 2018 World Cup in Russia? In my opinion, that man is going to be Sergej Milinkovic-savic. He's 23 years old and he's a Serbian international. He plays for Lazio in the Serie A as a central midfielder, and just like Gelson Martins, he has caught the eyes of some of the best clubs in Europe. What makes him so impressive is his goal-scoring midfielder as well. In 39 appearances this season, he scored 11 goals, which is very good for a central midfielder, and also got 7 assists. He can play in defensive midfielder role, central midfield, attack midfield. He's very versatile, and at 6'2", he bosses the midfield with an average of 4 tackles per game. He's got a great heading ability, obviously by his height, so he will definitely boss that midfield in whatever role he may be. Maybe as a box-to-box, he'd be perfect for Serbia. He'll completely dominate the whole midfield, running forwards, running backwards, doing every role they need to in the midfield. He's also great in the advanced positions. As I said, he's scored 11 goals in all competitions this season, which is very impressive, and does score a few goals from outside the box. There's a reason that the likes of Man United, Man City, Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid, all of Europe's top clubs have been looking at this guy. It's because he's a very technical player. He's fantastic. He's got great skill moves as well. And I feel as if for Serbia, who, by the way, seem to always do quite well at the World Cup for some reason, normally surpassing what England do, he should definitely star. And, well, they haven't got the best strikers up front, Serbia, but that could even make Savic stand out even more. He probably will be their best player, probably is their best player already. So, at the 2018 World Cup in Russia, my player to make the major breakthrough is Sergej Milinkovic-savic. But what do you think? Let me know on Instagram at BHA_today. And hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. It's a lot shorter than normal. Only me this time, as you've probably noticed. But let me know what you think. DM us on Instagram at BHA_today. Let me know your thoughts on who will be the standout player of the tournament. And I'll see you guys next time for another episode